It is literally the art form of the gods, used to decorate churches in the image of God. Iconography is a Greek word, and so it seems appropriate that we find this ancient art form being used to beautify a new Greek church in Sako. St. Demetrios was built 6 years ago. Father Basil Arbatsits spearheaded the project, but for a few years its interior laid bare, waiting for the funds to bring it to life.
It is unbelievable. You can't imagine how I think everybody has felt, because it's been 6 years that we have been in this location, but things have moved so fast that many times, as we say, we have to pinch ourselves to kind of see, is it real or is this just our imagination?
This summer, the gods have come down, not from the heavens, but from Thessaloniki, Greece, in the form of 2 iconographers, in order to bring the church to life.
We took all the measurements we could with laser beams and all the stuff, and we painted on canvases in Greece. We cut around the paintings, and we come here and put some glue and stick it on the walls.
Panayotis and Iconography Christodoulou have been painting icons in churches in Greece for years. They welcome the challenge to create icons for a church here in America.
You're not permitted to make any mistakes. We tried, every church is different measurements, different architecture, let's say. Some parts of the churches are so different that every church is a challenge.
But painting icons on canvas thousands of miles away and having them fit perfectly takes as much science as it does art.
We expect it to be a little more difficult, but it was a lot more easy for us, because the surfaces are perfect, the measurements are perfect. Whoever worked here was very skillful, was very careful. And
once the paintings are completed, they are cut out around images, rolled into tubes, and with a bit of faith, shipped overseas to the church. Here, Panayotis and Dimitri, along with their wives, carefully unroll them and glue them to the church walls, piece by piece.
It is easy, to stick it. It is difficult to paint it. If you do a mistake, you have at least half an hour to undo it.
The first day we visit, Panayotis and Dimitri are close to completion of the interior of the church dome. Each canvas is carried up a 30-foot scaffolding, which Dimitri climbs with ease. It took a little more coaxing to convince our photographer Brett Whitmarsh to follow, but he did, and the results are breathtaking. The colors, heavenly.
That is the presence of God in our midst, and because it is the God of the Old Testament, he is surrounded by the 12 prophetic figures.
When we started doing iconography, we thought that this was very childish. You see the colors are so lightful, you see how the sketches are so simple, but really it isn't so simple. There are so many secrets under sketching it and in the way of thinking.
On our second visit, the saints are literally marching in on the walls, each strategically placed, each creating a divine image for a church that has been waiting for them.
When you look at the faces, when you look at the very subtle colors that are there, it does bring you someplace else. So during the services, as you actually move, whether as the priest or as people, whether you look up, whether you look ahead, whether you look to the sides, you actually begin to see the rest of your family. And this is what it is. It's a spiritual family.
Panayotis and Dimitri learned their craft from master iconographers in Thessaloniki. This art form is passed on in the old-fashioned way, from one artist to another, with the patience of the gods.
In Thessaloniki, we have many iconographers, with at least 200 or 300 of us. So the most usual procedure is that you sit with an older iconographer for about 3 or 4 years, and so you learn some things, and then you open your studio and try to do.
And now, with beautiful icons covering its walls, St. Demetrios Greek Orthodox Church will embrace its parishioners, mourn its funerals, and celebrate its weddings, just as it should be, with the gods watching.